to another Happy Panda Toys toy review. My name is Rich.
My name is Ilanit.
And I'm Ben.
Today we'll be reviewing the new Gold Lab series by Huck Gee and Mighty Jaxx. We have the Raku Day, Raku Night, and the Soul Collector. We generally review toys in 5 categories. The first category of which is the concept. Concept, idea behind the toy. So, for Huck Gee, he's been doing a lot of different Japanese, Asian-inspired characters, whether it's original creatures he's created, skull characters, people, sort of anthropomorphic animals, again, samurai, geishas, very Asian-inspired. As a concept for a whole new line of some of his classic characters and some brand new characters, I gotta give it a 5. I love the idea. I want to see more. I love the Raku. I love the Soul Collector. I need more.
I agree. I also give it a 5. I'm a big Japanophile. I love all things having to do with Japan and Japanese iconography. So the idea of these sort of like kick-ass, cool-looking animals that are also imbued with all this sort of Japan culture too, you know, the samurai, the ninja, it all works for me. I love it. Always love the Gold Life series, so double thumbs up.
Alrighty.
Alright, yeah, gotta give it a 5. Love Huck Gee stuff, it's great. And another outlet for it is always good to hear. So I'm excited to see what's coming, excited to see what's here, and let's get into it.
Alright. Category number 2 is the packaging. Ben, the packaging.
The packaging.
So the packaging for these are these clear, small boxes. It's a thin plastic. All the art on these is printed, with the exception of the very back. It actually pulls out as a paper insert. For these, I gotta give it a 3. For everything I like, there's something I don't like. I like that the plastic is printed on for the artwork, but I don't like the fact that they are this clear plastic. It reminds me of like a cheaper Chinatown gimmicky toy. It does feel like it protects the toy more, but again, for every good thing, there's a bad thing for me.
Yeah, I also give it a 3. I think it's interesting that, you know, Funko is kind of vilified and deemed as all the things that are evil and wrong in the toy industry, yet this packaging is very Funko reminiscent. You know, you've got the numbers here in the corner, you've got the printing on the box, and it's window boxed. I feel like we're seeing more and more of a proliferation of the Funko type of packaging, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I just think it's interesting. But you definitely need to take them out of the box, I feel, in order to appreciate the full detail of the figure. You lose a lot of it. I would have preferred just straight cardboard with all the art around it, but this is an okay alternative, so 3 it is.
Okay. You know what? I'm actually gonna go up on that. I'm gonna give it a 4. As far as window boxes are concerned, I really like this one. The fact that it's clear on the front as well as the sides, so you can see the turns of it. The top is clear, so light can come in and it gives you a better view of the piece itself. I like those details. Printing on the box, it's really well done. It makes it a nice, makes for a nice print. I kind of like it. The thing that's weird about it is, yeah, that clamshell. It's necessary to protect the toy by having the clamshell in there. In order to display it in the box the way I feel like it should be displayed, you really need to get rid of that clamshell, which means you need to open the box. In order to open the box, there's this nice little tab on top. Getting that tab out is tricky.
I just cut the tab off, honestly.
Yeah, chances
couldn't
are
even get the tab out.
Yeah, I feel like that's a problem. If you can't open the packaging to display it without damaging the packaging, that's not the best.
Yeah, that is tough. I like the cardboard inserts on the back. It adds a little bit to create the scene inside. I feel like that's a nice little trick. They could be displayed with that, even if you just wanted to put them. If you wanted to put them out, you could literally just put them on it and display them in a case that way. Packaging that is then recyclable into your display. That's kind of a cool little innovative thing too. Got to give it a 4.
All right. Next up, we have translation. Translation is how well did the company work with Huck Gee on concept and bring it into the 3D form, mostly with prototyping. For me, I gotta go with a 2. I'm not a huge fan of the way it was translated. I do like a lot of the sculptural details, the little lines on the straw hat, all the little stuff that, like the rope and the backpack and the pouches that can't come off the toy are really amazingly sculpted. They're great sculpted toys. The sculpting is unparalleled, great figures. However, they're just too static. And if they were going to be static and have ball jointed arms and a head, then you can kind of pose them. If it's going to be no ball joints, just like maybe the head moves a little bit, the arms can move a little bit, then I would have preferred some sort of dynamic posing like you get in a lot of his artwork. You kind of see them doing stuff, and I feel like there's a lot more here for that than what I'm actually getting. So I kind of wish it came better from his artwork to 3D form.
I agree with you on the whole dynamicism. I wish there was more movement to them, or that they were more easily posable in non-awkward ways. I think we were playing around with these before, and if you take this sword out of Raku Day's hand, it's kind of really hard to pose him with it, where it's not...
It's got to like bend around the hat.
Yeah, it just comes out kind of awkward. So I agree with you, that is a problem, but honestly, for me, the sculpt kind of makes up for it and brings it up to a more even keel. I think a highlight for me is the sculpting over here on the bandana. I think it's just really well done. I love the movement that it has. I wish more of the sculpt had this type of movement, but I don't know, I really enjoy it. I love the tufts of hair, the ears, the detail. It brings it to a 3 for me.
Okay. You know what? Gonna have to agree with Rich on this one. Give it a 2. It's really tough. Yes, sculpturally, there are a lot of really nice choices made here. The tufts on the tail, the face, they're really well done. I enjoy those features. The textures on the hat, the textures on the shoulder pads, they did a good job on these. But it's tough because I saw the turns on these and I was so excited to see them come in, because the turns reminded me of something we saw from the Loyal Subjects in their the Ninja Turtle series, which is a series I was actually not excited about when it came out. I opened a couple blind boxes. They turned out to be very dynamic and posable because of the ball joints, and it became a really good blind box series to end up opening. I ended up collecting almost the whole series because of how well they worked. So seeing something that I already did really like and really want, and thinking that it was going to be dynamic like that, seeing them come in was just such a setback and a disappointment that they don't move and they don't pose, that it's really tough to get past that for me. I really would like to see that. And again, if you're going to go static and you're not going to have a good pose or have a good range of motion on it, give me a great dynamic pose. That would be really cool to just display them in the window box as is, in the pose, make them more art sculpture than art toy. And I'd be fine with that choice too. But as it is, they just kind of stand there, arms down.
It's in between statue and toy. They're posed like toys that they could be played with, but you can't play with them as much as you think you would. So they're more statue-like, but they don't have that dynamicism that you want from a statue.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. Thank you, Rich. But yeah, so I gotta give it a 2.
Brain.
So moving on.
All right, next up is the execution. How well did the factory kind of work on print padding, casting, assemblage, all that sort of stuff? For me, I'm going to go with a 3. For everything done well, there's something done kind of poorly. These are manufactured in a PVC. It's very similar to a vinylmation figure, so there's a heft to them, but there are seam lines on all of these. Some of them, the seam lines are cleaned very well, others not so much. And then some parts where there's airbrushing and there's really fine print padding, and others it's very like ghosty off airbrushing, and then some not so great print padding. So it's, for every figure there's a good thing and a bad thing. I'm kind of in the middle there at a 3.
I disagree. I mean, yes, all the things you're saying are true, but to me, the skull head is one of Huck Gee's more iconic characters, and it needs to look bold and clean and beautiful. And this is bold, it's not clean. The seams on the skull head, to me, just they kill it. They kill it completely. I can't get past seeing seams on a skull head. I think a skull head should never have seams. It's unseemly. So I can't get past it. It bothers me way too much. So I give it a 2.
Jedi Master, what do you got?
I gotta agree with Elanine on this one. Like, it's really tough to overlook and get past a lot of these little flaws on them. I mean, overall, you really just want to like it. You want to like what they did with it, and it's tough. Like, yeah, the seams are I mean, it's tough to say it's bad, but I mean, it's so bad. There's a lot of paint. Yeah, that's gonna be my main thing, honestly, is the head pegs. It's cool that you have head pegs. There's not a problem with having head pegs, but the fact that why have head pegs and then not have them line up to be the same size? I cannot interchange the heads. It's something that I would personally like to be able to do. Is to mock customize my own little Gold Life army. We did it with the Dunny series to make our own little like stories, and it was fun. But they don't fit on each other's neck pegs. Raccoon Day doesn't even neck peg out. Skullheads doesn't really neck peg in. It
just sort of sits on top.
Rests on top.
It just feels like a mistake rather than an intentional choice.
It does. Also, Skullhead, while the one wing articulates very well, the other one doesn't move at all. It feels like it's locked in there. Some paint molding injections. I'm not sure what happened, but
I tried moving and it started to tear a little bit, so it's just there now.
Yeah, and I feel like that's gotta be an error or a mistake that came along somewhere. I'm gonna say it came along in the execution of the figure, and it's gonna keep it down below that 3 mark to me wanting more, which puts it in the 2.
All right. Final category is value. These have an MSRP in the US of $25. For me, I'm going to have to give it a 3. I think that's, it's not a fantastic price, but I like Huck Gee stuff. I want Huck Gee stuff. This is the cheapest Huck Gee stuff I'm going to get because it's either a custom, an original art piece, if you will, or it's just a blank resin piece with no paint on it that he casts by like the 50, So for me, this is the best deal you're going to get unless you have really deep pockets. I wish it was cheaper, but it is what it is.
I feel like this is at its money, so I give it a 3. For this size, this type of detail, this caliber artist, I think $25 is what you can expect to pay. So, 3 it is.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2. I feel like it's just slightly above what I think I should be paying for. Not what I want to pay for it, but just what I feel like I should be paying for it to make it at its money. I think at $20, I'd walk into a store, see a price tag on this with the window box, and say $19.99. Cool, that's exactly what that should be, and I'd probably be willing to shell out the money on it. At $25, I'd probably look at it and be like, I feel like that should be less money, and probably walk away from it. So I got to give it a 2. I just feel like it should have been a little bit lower. Yes, there are good points and importings and all these things that we have to think about, but on an instinct, I don't think about. And my heart just says, hey,
Going
2.
with the gut.
Yep.
Going with the gut.
I think 20 is unrealistic, but continue.
Anyway, what were our average scores?
So, looks like, Ilani, you're going to average this one out at a 3.2. Rich, you're going 3.2 as well.
Wow.
And I got a 3 on this one.
Aha.
So,
all right then. Yeah, would you buy it?
This is a tough question for me. Yes, I would buy it, but I would buy it because it's Huck Gee, because it's $25, and because it's Raku, Day and Night, and the Soul Eater, Skullhead. Not really for how the figure looks or what it truly is.
I'm in the same boat. I like these characters. I like Huck Gee's work, and again, I don't have the deep pockets at the moment to buy every new custom or to just buy every random blank or print, so this is pretty much an easy yes.
all right. Yeah, I really don't want to buy them. I really just don't want to buy them. But I know I'm going to end up with a couple because the black and gray Raccoon Day and Night are some of my favorite Dunnies ever made. And it's really tough. I can't afford them. I've never been able to get one, and I probably never will get one. Being able to get this gives me something tangible that I can have, that I can own. It's not just like, oh, I can look at pictures of these online and watch them go for prices that I'll never be able to get. I can actually put this in my collection. I can have a Raccoon in my collection and enjoy it. I really don't want to buy it, but I know I will because it makes it something that I can grab now, that makes it realistic for me.
It's all about that
So,
consumerism.
where can you purchase these?
You can purchase these fantastic Gold Life Huck Gee Mighty Jaxx pieces at happypanatoys.com. Ooh, wow.
Where? HappyPanatoys.com.
Yeah, happypanatoys.com. Yeah, they're $25 each. We're doing a set special, which is I think $69 for all three instead of $75.
Yep.
So yeah, go on down and pick them up.